Here's why your character portraits look boring. The main reason for this is that when you start out and you learn about the structure, then you start applying the structure as if it is the initial stage of your character portrait. This, to some degree, is actually a wrong approach. The reason you learn structure is that so you can understand it when you need to create believability out of abstract, interesting form. So what you're actually doing is when you want to create something interesting, you create a graphically interesting shape and you reverse engineer structure into that. That's how you create much more interest in the design of your characters, creatures, whatever design you want to do. That's the first thing that really is, for me, a telltale sign that you're too focused on sort of the building blocks that make up a portrait. And you start from that as a base and you just start adding little teeny beady mighty character changes to it and think that's good enough to create a design. And I see this often with people starting out, is that that's what they focused on. Now, number two into this is that you focus on that building block, but you stop really early on and just do the Loomis hit and then instantly think you can do interesting portraits or characters from imagination. Again, completely wrong. In our roadmap, what we do is we help you understand the structure, building blocks, then how you can manipulate those building blocks, then how you can look at things from observation and learn how to use those manipulated building blocks and extract that or deconstruct that from observation. And then you can start to better understand the individual features of the portrait. And then you start to play around with that in its individual compartments, like the head, the eyes, the nose, whatever. And then you start to train with graphic shapes. And from those graphic shapes, you reverse engineer those constructions, manipulated forms, observations into it. So it's a much longer process than you actually think. And a lot of the reasons why you stagnate with your character portraits is because you tend to skip too many steps. And so you get demotivated and then you're like, oh, I need to go back to step one, do that again so I can leapfrog again to the interesting characters. And this is where you get frustrated and you get into this negative feedback loop where you think you're on the right track and then you're like, oh, okay, let's go back to the interesting portraits. You get disappointed again and you're like, oh, no, need to do more of the thing and step one. But that's just step one. You need to do step one, step two, step three, step four. And when you have that accumulated knowledge, then your character portraits will become much more interesting by default.